Good morning. So, I've spent a considerable amount of time in the last couple of days looking up abandoned places, like old houses that were just left because someone couldn't afford the rent or the payments, or simply they were forced to move out. My dad put it this way the other day. He said everything has a life cycle, and that is true. One thing that fascinates me is there's homes that out in the country that these farmers and people built. They put a lot of money into these structures, and eventually, the people have their family, and either they leave or they pass away, and the house is just left, and it starts caving in, or it sits and falls apart. With people that come out and they dismantle it. In my for my example, my grandfather, my grandpa, he was born out in the country, and he was raised, like, he grew up at this farm right outside of town a little bit, and when we went out there a couple years ago, all that was left out there was the barn, and Grandpa had said that his dad had put a bunch of license plates all over the wall and in the inside, and we went inside and they were all gone. There had been bullet holes all over. There was shell casings, and there was graffiti all over, and there was paint on the inside of the barn that it said AS, and that's my grandpa's initials, Arthur Chanel, and so we kind of thought that might have been him. But what I'm getting to is that it was interesting to hear from my grandpa how the farm was, really, it was where he was born and stuff, like you said, and the house was taken out of that area a couple years ago, I guess, is what I was told. All that's left now is like the foundation, or like the ground level of it. Not even, like, there's nothing left of the house. You can see the basement, I think, but like the barn was just torn down like last year. Anyway, what I want to explain is that nature took over and is taking back the the land that where the barn was, and where that was. I am interested in abandoned places in Detroit. There's a lot of the amazing there's a theater. Okay, I know I'm kind of rambling on a little bit, but it's hard to put into words just the sadness, but also the amazement that I find looking at some of these structures and the architecture and the detail they put into these, and then for them to just be left, so people don't, a lot of people our age, I'm 22, a lot of people don't appreciate nature. Or let me reiterate. They don't appreciate the past. And I was hearing from someone that in schools now they're not teaching about the Holocaust in some schools, and all you're setting up for is kids not to be educated in things, and it's just going to repeat history over and over and over. And I don't know. I think that there's a lot of things that we tend to think will last forever. That's where I'm trying to get at. Is there's a lot of things we think will survive forever. Buildings or vehicles or houses and stuff, and eventually they all just crumble. So, kind of a darker video for today.